Straight ahead here on 22 News, 3 Springfield police officers come under attack while responding to a call early today. Thousands demonstrate in Boston in support for Israeli policies in the West Bank, and a salute today to America's Vietnam veterans. And are we going to be able to shake this chilly weather that descended on the region this weekend? Meteorologist Adam Stremko has the forecast.
Live from the 22 News Broadcast Center, this is 22 News at 11, the Associated Press news station of the year.
3 Springfield policemen find themselves being assaulted when they respond to a call. Good evening and welcome to 22 News at 11. 3 Springfield policemen were beaten early today when they responded to a call to tone down a noisy party on Woodside Terrace. According to police, Patrolman Josh Ellsworth, Josh Haygood, and Bernardo Lociano were punched, knocked to the ground, and kicked by several men in front of this tenement at 92 Woodside Terrace. They were treated for cuts and bruises. Patrolman Ellsworth told 22 News he was first to arrive answering a noise complaint. He saw a group of men drinking in front of the building. He then called for backup when a second-floor occupant started throwing punches. It took 10 cops to quell the disturbance. Police say that only a handful, though, of the more than 50 partygoers actually attacked the 3 policemen. Neighborhood residents tell 22 News that what goes on in the second-floor apartment hurts their neighborhood.
It concerns me a lot, and it concerns me because I have a family that I have to watch out for, and it scares me that they would be out there and that something may happen to them.
It's terrible. They should get some other people, move them or get some nicer people, because this is like a quiet place to live. Last time a guy tried to kill himself right there from that building.
Some residents were afraid to go on camera. They told us about the frequency of loud parties at 92 Woodside Terrace and the illegal parking that disrupts the neighborhood. 5 men have been charged in connection with the assault on the 3 policemen. Officer Ellsworth told 22 News the first person to punch him was 36-year-old Jose Medina of 92 Woodside Terrace. 2 other men arrested also live there, 29-year-old Santo Medina and 30-year-old Hugo Escobar. They've been charged with assaulting a police officer. And in other news, Secretary of State Colin Powell left tonight for a week-long foray into Middle East peacemaking. But is the effort too little, too late? As Cy Becker tells us, local reaction is rather downbeat.
I think that they're too late in getting into this, and hopefully there can be something done, but I am very concerned.
Powell intends to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon as early as Thursday. Before taking off, the Secretary of State appeared on the Fox News network.
Israel acted in its own self-defense, something that the Prime Minister has every right to do. The people of Israel expect the Prime Minister to act in the self-defense of the society.
Meantime, the Middle East stalemate leaves some local people skeptical that Colin Powell's diplomacy can make either side budge.
I don't think it can possibly do any good at this time. I'm sorry, but I think it's so embedded in war and conflict. We need to look at another alternative.
No, I don't think Colin Powell is going to make any difference whatsoever. I don't think any one man is going to make a difference.
By so many negative expectations, each person we spoke with has the highest respect for the Secretary of State. But there's concern about how much flexibility the White House has given him.
I think that they have tied his hands, and I don't think he can really do what he maybe think he should do.
Powell has said that the Israeli action sweeping into Palestinian territory is having what he calls consequences that need to be considered. This is Cy Becker for 22 News.
In Boston today, hundreds turned out to support Israel's military offensive in the West Bank. Terry Adler has the details.
The American anthem, sung loudly and clearly, a precursor to strong words spoken against terrorism and in support of Israel at the Stand With Israel rally in Boston.
Now is the time to choose. Either you are with the civilized world or you are with the terrorists.
The demonstrators, many members of the Bay State's Jewish community, expressed anger over the suicide bombings in Israel and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat's role in the fighting.
Arafat has said he wanted peace over and over again. Every time he's saying peace at the same time, he's sending out bombers and terrorist bombers.
I support the Palestinian state, but I'm not going to support terrorists.
There was public debate between pro-Israel and Palestinian supporters.
What is your solution? How to resolve this problem?
I'm not an international diplomat. I can tell you one thing, that I'm a pacifist.
But it was yesterday the pro-Palestinian message was the loudest. Saturday's rally also attracted a large crowd equally committed to their views of the Middle East conflict and the reasoning behind the deadly suicide bombings.
When you have young people willing to die because death is better than living under occupation, you know, that should tell us something.
In Boston, two views of one situation that are miles apart.
That was Terry Adler reporting from Boston. During these troubled times in the Middle East, hundreds of Vietnam veterans gathered in Springfield today to observe Vietnam Veterans Day. The ceremony included a procession that moved from Court Square Park to the Vietnam Memorial across from City Hall. The most solemn part of the observance included the reading of the names of Springfield residents who died in the Vietnam War.
I've been coming here every year since I moved to Massachusetts in 1993. I come here because it's the day that we honor the Vietnam veterans that gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, the names that are on that wall, and also to honor our brothers that are here that survived one way or the other.
This year's guest speaker was the highly decorated medic Bill Martin. He was honored in conjunction with the theme of this year's Springfield observance, a salute to medics and corpsmen. The Court Square ceremony was attended by members of numerous veterans organizations, along with members of their families.
Good evening, everybody. Well, another cool day today. Temperatures only in the 40s, a very cold start. We had temperatures this morning down into the teens. Some good news, it's not going to be that cold tonight. Let's take a look at the satellite radar picture, and this is why. We have the clouds moving in. You can see them moving in from the south and west. We put the satellite radar picture into motion for you from 10 o'clock up until the present time. And you can see temperatures for the most part are not really falling off. We have temperatures in the 40s, 41 in Springfield, 40 in Westfield, 41 in Northampton, 40 in Greenfield right now. It's 39 over in Pittsfield. Still fairly mild, especially when you consider what we had last night. Here's a look at your 22-hour forecast around 7 a.m., getting down to around